we're talking about. It is specifically in reference to an emotion, representation of a position or relationship between two parties. So, in this particular, what did we start with? What did we start with? Join the moment, yes. But what was the initial paper? Discussion, problems, okay? So, how many discussions do you have about the problems you have in your relationship? How many? How much do you perpetuate it? Okay? How much commenting, gossiping, and taking sides do you engage in? How much? How much? You want to be seen in the best light. And if he or she has done you wrong, you want to exaggerate that because you are the one that is right. Or so you think. And that is where that problem, that is the problem, comes. As you've heard me say on so many shows, you want to be special. When you want to be special, what's the opposite of special? I'm just going to put, you're going to be denied because you're not special. Okay? If you want to be right, what's the opposite of right? You're going to be shown wrong. If you want to be beautiful, I mean, you work to get that. What's the opposite of beautiful? Ugly. If you are hungry with a Y, the opposite is full. In life, as soon as you experience one thing, you are going to experience the other thing. It's like a coin. Heads, tails. Light, night. Should have put day. Cold, hot. Wet, dry. You are going as soon as you are experiencing one of these situations, one of them, the seeds of its opposite are already in operation. Because you are not going to stay in joy unspeakable forever. That's not entirely true. But at this level, it is true. You're not going to stay in joy unspeakable forever unless, now here's where it's not true. You are willing to die out to your lower nature. Die out. And I mean not argue with it, not discuss it, not try to influence it, woo it, subdue it. You've got to completely destroy it. And the only way that happens, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it with these hands. I'm not going to do it. But by getting quiet and meditating, it can happen. All right, let's go back here. All right, let me see. The seeker seems to be off balanced and is not judging or looking upon the involvement clearly. We ask thee, therefore, not to become so gratified because all things seem on the surface to be going well and are in actuality only a guise. Do not become depressed, dejected, feeling rejected, and at the same time for the source of such. Joy is the other side of sorrow. It is impossible to experience one of these sensations without the other. To know, to experience, to separate oneself from that which is happening so that thou mayest observe objectively is true growth. For this is the only true peace that can be found while you're in the universe today. Okay, let me see what the rest of this is. It is most difficult. I think I started with the word difficult, didn't I, Mitzi? How about this? So we're talking about stuff that's going on with me personally, because anything that I say, of course, has to do with me, or I couldn't say it, even though I'm not thinking it consciously. And it has to do with you because we are all connected. You're listening to this show because you've got some kind of difficulties or concerns in your relationship. And you're trying to do what you can do to fix it, or at least figure it out. So you're discussing it. And while you're discussing it, you're not getting any closer to resolution. I keep on forgetting what those two words are. It is most difficult to be totally honest regarding relationships. Whoa! Now let me stop. I hope I have enough time to finish that little bit, but I have got to see what honest is. Do you hear me? Do you hear me, Paula? Do you hear me, Mitzi, Sandy, and the entire world? It is most difficult to be honest in relationships. Let's see what we got going on here. We think we are. There's the heart of it, ain't it? The heart of honest is relationship. The heart of honest. That is something, isn't it? That brings on new talk. The heart of any relationship is an honest involvement. But it's not something you're doing or not doing. It is the heart of the relationship itself, not your ideas about it or what you think you could do to make it better. 13, 14, 16. Shut up. What am I reading? What am I reading, Mitzi? That's the thing. That's what I was trying to tell you. I have no plan for this show when it comes on, and I just follow it. And I learn as much as you do. I probably learn more. But I started out with saying that I was feeling a little different today, and different led me to this, and it led me to that, led me to the magician, which led me to what I'm reading. Honest in relationships, we're talking about it. The honesty in a relationship is based upon what the magician does in the moment. In the moment. Okay, most difficult to be totally honest regarding relationships. When one is alone, he is quite insincere with his very self. Now you tell me, Jackson, how are you going to be honest in a relationship when you're by yourself and you can't even be honest? You're trying to fool yourself the entire time you're sitting there. Whether you're worrying or whether you're fixated on how something so wonderful. You know, when you're alone, you cannot be honest. Let's see, what's alone? With yourself. You can't even be honest with yourself. You're making yourself better than what you are in your mind. Or, if you're on the other end, on a scorpionic day, you're making yourself worse than what you are. Oh, put it up here. Fine. So we got a 12, we got an 8, we got a 20. So we know when we're alone, We are suffering that anger, and we are consumed with those thoughts of sex, death, and money. Now, you know, sex incorporates you wanting to be more attractive, you wanting to have better clothes, you know, it includes a whole lot of things. And money, you want to be seen in a better light, like it adds something to you, have a big bank account. And with this death, like I said, you don't put enough time in that. But right here, this 8, this making 20, you know, that's that father, mother, child, God, goddess, God, goddess, is what it is meant to be. Then you could be honest, because like I said, get alone for those 20 minutes a day. Just 20 minutes a day. Don't answer the phone. Don't talk to anybody. Just sit alone. And your thoughts that will come into your mind, let them pass by like fishes in a fish tank. Get alone. Start listening what it means to be honest in relationships. Get alone and start hearing what you are doing here on the earth. Get alone so you can introduce yourself to death. The one relationship you can't get out of. I can't give you that understanding. There's no way, because I don't have it. I do not have it and won't possess it in this lifetime. Get alone. Learn those things. Let me see. Therefore, when one pulls this card, and that's the card of the magician, the seeker is asking, is this true love? Will it last forever? Can I possibly be this happy? The answer is no, not for all times. For what thou art experiencing is but a false emotion that is generated yet separated from the true self. Emotions that are felt on the earth today are mere expressions of false sensations, temporarily expressed to cause one to grow. That goes back to those problems. I love this stuff. And to know and to experience pain, joy, suffering, sorrow, and happiness. All of these things must be experienced so the self can be expounded and expounded and expounded upon as an indifferent observer. Therefore, the true self will grow beyond these emotions in the situation he places himself. For as long as one clings to those emotions, or any emotions, and identifies himself with them, he is not progressing to the exalted state of authenticity, but is left among the animals and in the lowest, darkest refrains of his mind. For an animal does not know how to act except to eat, drink, sleep, bark when he is not disturbed. Art thou not yet more than a mere animal? Do not count thyself worthy with false prize, being puffed up with adoration and praise. Conduct thyself in like manner, becoming to thy divine nature. We started it off. Relationships. Okay, let's see what death is. 6:14. Whoa! Does that not bring on more talk? Did I not just say on this other paper, right here, okay, that to get alone, father, mother, child, get alone, and you would know the meaning of death. And this right here is 20. That is the father, mother, child, God, goddess, in you, And until you can learn how, I'm not going to say learn. Don't say hate, Paula. Don't say hate. You don't hate. That's a blanket word. Let's see what it means, learn. Because I don't think you can learn it. I think it's impossible to learn it. But let's see. 3, 5, 1, 9, 5. Okay, there's the 6 in there. 12, 17. Is that right? 17, so you got a 23. So movement. Okay. The only way to truly learn something, because you're not going to learn it by discussing it. You're going to learn it through experiencing it. Experience is the only teacher there is. The only teacher. And at the heart of learning is conflict. It goes back to those problems. When we embrace our problems, we should not embrace them as if they are bad. They are here to teach, to cause us to engage in some manner so that we can expand ourselves. And we are learning that our problems, just like our joys, just think of the greatest joy you've ever experienced. It was but for a moment. That's all. Just so these problems, they're for a moment. And they'll be gone. All of it will be gone. But I will say this, and I'll say this so emphatically. When you have these problems that arise, and if you can be, most of the time you can't, because emotions come over and you lose all consciousness at all. I mean, you lose. I said all twice because it's a double all. You lose every bit of sensibility and rationality and reason that there is when you are faced with an insurmountable problem that you didn't even know was there, and you are forced to react. And then you react in a way that surprises you. Well, you can take that and say, if you acted in a manner that you thought was bad or inappropriate, you can take that and let that destroy you. But the only thing that is destroying is the idea that you had of yourself that you were so good. Now, neither one of them is accurate. There's something beneath that. And what the magician is trying to say inside of you is to move